Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. Gary B, the casual comic guy here. I hope everybody's had an incredible holiday weekend and just got to spend lots of time with their family. And if you exchanged gifts, I hope you guys had a great personal time with that. But we're here for Savage Saturday. And what we're going to talk about this week could be nothing other than King Size Conan. All right, this just came out last week. And I want to thank a lot of my viewers, and I got some personal messages on Instagram with some great critique. And I really liked what I did last week, and I liked reviewing the book, but I did give too much away. So the purpose of these Savage Saturdays is to not give away the whole story. The purpose is to get your interest peaked and decide for yourself if you want to go buy the story and experience it yourself or not. And uh, and I'm going to give my opinion if I think it's worth your time or not. But as with all things, it's just my opinion. Always feel free to go buy what you like and experience it for yourself and form your own opinion. I mean, that's all we can do. And having said that, we're gonna dive into King Size Conan. And this is just was a fun read from front to back. Um, there's 5 stories in here, and they all offer you something different, a little piece of Conan from a different time in his life. And I got my favorites, and I got my weak spot. And you'll have your favorites, and you'll have your weak spot. But let's start out with aftermath and a beginning. This is when he was the barbarian, right? This is Conan just starting out, and it's just written by Roy Thomas, and the artist was Steve McNiven. And I thought Steve McNiven did a fantastic job on the art, and I'll show you a couple. Just I don't want to show you any of the back pages. I don't want to give away the story's endings, but just I want to show you a few samples of the art in each one. So that was Steve McNiven. I thought this did a stellar job and really conveyed Roy Thomas's story well. This takes place just before Conan leaves Samaria and after the Battle of Venarium, and leads into issue 1. I'm not going to give the specifics of what happens in this story, but it's Roy Thomas. He's one of the godfathers of Conan, and I loved it. It's fantastic. I thought it was a great lead-in. So our second story, and let me thumb through it, is when Conan was a thief, because Conan's been a lot of things: a rogue, a thief, a leader of the Cossacks. He's been a mercenary. He's been a war chief. He's been a king or corsair, whatever you say. Conan's had a life of experience, and that's what he set out to do. Right? It's why he left Samaria. He wanted to see the world, something that the other Sumerians didn't have a thirst for, but he did. And so the second story is called "In the City of Thieves," written by Kurt Busiek, and the art was by Peter Woods. And let me get to that. And so great. So Peter Woods art, and this is a great page to open up. Look at that. All right, and this takes place sometime before Conan's adventures. That takes place in the story "The Tower of the Elephant." And this is great. This is still Conan growing up. This is still Conan learning to be a bunch of different things. And this one, he's still a thief. And he's smart. And he's cunning. And that's how I really like to see Conan portrayed. Conan's not just a brute. He's not just a savage that can fight his way out of situations. He's a smart, thinking man. He has weaknesses. The cups and the women. But he's smart. He's cunning. And he's resourceful. And this story illustrates all that greatly. And again, show you just a little bit more of the art. Just really good stuff. Really solid art. I thought that this one was good too. Different style. Had a little bit more of an animation quality to it, but it was really fitting and done really well. At least I thought so. Alright, so then, the next one I believe was a real treat too. Let me see. And we're going to go to Die by the Sword, written by Chris Claremont. All right, that's all you need to know about that. With artist Roberto de la Torre. It's called The Mercenary. Okay, and let's see. Okay, in this one, You talk about channeling John Buscema. All right, look at that. Look at Conan. This is just channeling John Buscema greatly. And again, just another part of Conan's life. He's a mercenary. He's fighting in a war, and he meets this character, and in battle, you get the compassion of Conan too, which is what I really like about this Chris Claremont story. Shows the fierceness, the warrior of him. Shows the matter of fact. Look, this is the job. This is what war people do, and this is what happens. These are the casualties. These are the realities. But it's not without Conan having a heart. And I'm not going to spoil anything that happens in it. Just a great story. Absolutely fantastic. All right, and then the next one, we have Requiem, which to me personally was the weakest story in this collection. Written by Kevin Eastman with art by Kevin Eastman, and everything in this story felt rushed to me. You know, Conan's in a battle. This one's about the Avenger Conan. Somebody hurt someone that he cares about, and he's out to get revenge for him and avenge whatever's happened to them. I'm not going to set it up because I want everything in it to be a surprise for you and not spoiled. But, so here's some of the art. Again, and a couple of us were joking around that, so that's it. That's the Eastman art. Now, look, some of you may really dig that, and that's fine. Like I said, all these are up for interpretation. That's the great thing about the medium, right? What works for me isn't going to work for you. What works for you won't always work for me, and that's okay. For me, this was the weakest of the stories in this book. The art seemed hurried, and the storytelling muddled with the art. The story itself was fine. It was a fine Avenger tale, but the writing was okay. Seemed a little rushed here and there. He did only have so many pages to work with, and he did tell a whole story in it, which was okay. But the art just didn't work for me for a Conan tale. And like I said, sometimes it was hard to tell what was going on because the art just felt muddied and mushed together. And so the Kevin Eastman one was the weakest one for me out of the whole batch. And it may be your favorite, which is a great thing about it. So definitely just don't take my opinion on it. Read it for yourself, and you may say, what were you thinking, Gary? That was fantastic. And it could be. Just didn't work for me, and that's okay. The next one, and one of my favorite, Ship of the Damned. This is when he was a Corsair. And this was a beautiful story. I love this one. This is one of my favorites in it. This is Conan and Beylit. And it was a Stephen S. DeKnight was the writer. Really good tale, I thought, in this. A really good slice of his time with Beylit that we hadn't seen before. And Jesus Sayas is the artist. And I'm going to show you this art, and it's fantastic. Well, look at that. Absolutely amazing art. Beylit looks amazing. Let's get to another great page here. Look at that. How amazing is that stuff? Conan looks amazing there. Alright, the beasts look amazing. And really fun, really great story. And the best thing about this story is it really captured the kind of relationship that Conan had to Beylit. Probably the only person he was a little bit subservient to in his entire life. Beylit was his queen, and he listened to his queen. He knew she was fallible, but he still listened. He followed her with his heart. And this caught that for me. The heart of Conan belonging to Beylit, his one true love ever. Yes, he bedded a lot of women, had a lot of romances, drank a lot, and got him in trouble. Eventually married Queen Zenobia and became King Conan. But even his relationship with Zenobia was not a rival for his relationship with Beylit. But those are the 5 stories. And they give you this beautiful, beautiful map at the end. Probably one of the best renditions of the Hyborian Age that I've ever seen. just looks absolutely fantastic. But so king size Conan, 5 stories, 4 really good stories, 1 okay story. Not bad out of 5, right? And all 5 may work for you, or none of them may work for you. But definitely make up your own opinion on it. This, to me, was worth the money. Obviously, I bought 4 copies of it, and I might go buy more, but again, the weakest one to me was the Kevin Eastman one. His art didn't fit Conan for me, and the story was kind of hairy. It was a complete story, but and again, I thought he had the most expensive cover, and I thought the weakest of the covers. So is that, you guys tell me, is that Conan or is that Paul Stanley from Kiss? I think we all know it's Paul Stanley from Kiss and not Conan, right? Let's just put a little star on him, and we're there. We got the Starman, right? But again, guys, that's my Savage Saturday #2. I hope you guys are enjoying this new series. I hope I'm going to refine it even more. But I want to give this a rating 2 after I show the covers again. We're going to do a 1 out of 5. And I think it's going to be no surprise. And I'm going to give this, I don't know, let's go 4.5. I don't want to give it a perfect score. It's not a perfect book. But it is a great Conan tale. And if you're an old fan of Conan like I am, this is going to ring true. This feels like classic Conan to me. It really does. And when you're reading it, you get that nostalgia, you get that feeling, and you get that fun when you're reading this character. And you get, what's really cool is, if you read Conan for a lot of years, if you read the original Robert E. Howard stories, you're going to get the different feels from those different stories when he was different things throughout his career, throughout his life, throughout his journey through Hyborian Age. And it's just it's a fantastic read. And I think if you're a Conan fan in any way, this is a book you need in your collection. And I think it's just a great, fantastic read. And I gotta say, I wasn't disappointed. 1 okay story doesn't detract from how good this book is to me. And like I said, that okay story to me might be your favorite story in the whole thing. It might be the story that makes this purchase worth it to you. And so definitely give it 4.5 out of 5. Casual thumbs up, right? And the casual guy approves, 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. And for characterization, it was right on. Because that's the main thing I want to get with these books when I'm reviewing them. Does it capture the character? Parts of the story can be off, but if it captures the character, then it's good. And I'll say that about the Eastman one. It still captured the Conan character. And that's why it was good. Not great, but good. But it was still the weakest of me, but he still did the job of capturing the essence of Conan. So I'm happy for at least that. The characterization is good. The stories, I'll give the stories a 4 out of 5 because the one brings it down a little for me. And the art will do 4.25 out of 5 because, again, the one art didn't fit. I thought everyone else knocked it out of the ballpark with the art. But overall, great issue. Super happy to have it in the collection. I think you'll be super happy to have it in your collection. And I definitely think if you're a Conan fan, this book is worth the ad. Like I said, I only wanted to touch on the stories lightly. I didn't want to spoil any part of the story like I did last week. So I'm learning that. I'm going to refine this system week after week. So keep giving me that feedback. Help me make this better for you and for me. Because the point of this is they'll inspire you to buy it or not, or tell you not to buy it. But based on my opinion and how your opinion may line up with me. The more I talk about this, and the more you guys read these as well, you're going to see where you fall on how I feel about things compared to how you feel about things. And neither one of us is going to be wrong. Our experience with whatever book we read is our experience. No one can tell us we're wrong, you know, and we can't tell everyone we're 100% right because that's the great thing about comics. When I read this, it's just my experience for me. I can relate to you what I thought, but you're going to think what you think ultimately, and that's perfect and great. But that's it for this Savage Saturday, second installment. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me some more critiques in the comments if you guys have something you think I should add or not add, detract from. I don't know. Everything always has room for improvement. and I want to make this content worth your time watching. But that's it, guys. New Year's is coming up, so for all my casual people out there, man, just Happy New Year. Be kind to each other and keep it casual.